Hello, this is Roses. I'm the mun for the Artemis Fowl, the second blog. And I have decided that I was going to take the first couple of pages of the first Artemis Fowl book and put them through Google Translate, which we all know and love. It's totally a reliable source. No, it's going to be an absolute disaster. I haven't read it yet. I have no idea what it's going to say, so forgive me in advance for just busting out laughing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read the passage that I typed into Google Translate. And then I'll tell you guys how many times I translated it. Alright, Chapter 1, the book. Ho Chi Minh City in the summer, sweltering by anyone's standards. Needless to say, Artemis Fowl would have not been willing to put up with such discomfort if something extremely important had not been at stake, important to the plan. Sun did not suit Artemis. He did not look well in it. Long hours indoors in front of a computer screen had bleached the glow from his skin. He was white as a vampire and almost as testy in the light of day. "I hope this isn't another wild goose chase, Butler," he said, his voice soft and clipped, especially after Cairo. It was a gentle rebuke. They had traveled to Egypt on the word of Butler's informant. "No, sir, I'm certain this time. Eoin is a good man." Droned Artemis, unconvinced. Also, I'm going to pause there. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce anything. I tried to make sure that names and such were pronounced correctly, but I can still fuck them up. Back to the book. Passers-by would have been amazed to hear the large Eurasian man refer to the boy as Sir. This was, after all, the third millennium. But this was no ordinary relationship, and these were no ordinary tourists. They were sitting outside a curbside cafe on Dong Kai Street, watching the local teenagers circle the square on mopeds. Nguyen was late, and the pathetic patch of shade provided by the umbrella was doing little to improve Artemis's mood. But this was just his daily pessimism. Beneath the sulk was a spark of hope. Could this trip actually yield results? Would they find the book? It was too much to hope for. A waiter scurried to their table. "More tea, sirs?" he asked, head bobbing furiously. Artemis sighed. "Spare me the theatrics and sit down." The waiter turned instinctively to Butler, who was, after all, the adult. "But, sir, I am the waiter." Artemis tapped the table for attention. "You are wearing handmade loafers, a silk shirt, and 3 gold signet rings. Your English has a tinge of Oxford about it, and your nails have the soft sheen of the recently manicured. You are not a waiter. You are our context Nguyen Juan, and you have adopted this pathetic disguise to discreetly check for weaponry." Nguyen's shoulders sagged. "It's true. Amazing." "Hardly. A ragged apron does not a waiter make." Nguyen sat, pouring some mint tea into a tiny china cup. "Let me fill you in on the weapons status," continued Artemis. "I am unarmed, but Butler here, my, butler, has a Sig Sauer on in his shoulder holster, 2 shrike-throwing knives in his boots, a Derringer 2-shot up his sleeve, garrote wire in his watch, and 3 stun grenades concealed in various pockets. Anything else, Butler?" "The coche, sir." "Oh, yes, a good old ball-bearing coche stuffed down his shirt." Nguyen brought the cup trembling to his lips. "Don't be alarmed, Mr. Juan," Artemis smiled. "The weapons will not be used on you." Nguyen did not seem reassured. "No," continued Artemis, "Butler could kill you 100 different ways without the use of his weapons, though I'm sure one would be quite sufficient." Nguyen was by now thoroughly spooked. Artemis generally had that effect on people, a pale adolescent speaking with the authority and vocabulary of a powerful adult. Nguyen had heard the name Fowl before, who hadn't in the international underworld, but he had assumed he'd be dealing with Artemis Sr., not this boy. Although the word boy hardly seemed to do this gaunt individual justice, and the giant Butler, it was obvious that he could snap a man's backbone like a twig with those mammoth hands. Okay, so that's the passage that I put into Google Translate 12 times. So, we're going to see how this goes, and once again, I apologize for any mispronunciations. Oh my gosh, it's already bad. Okay. Hoshimi in the summer. Change a person's criteria. Artemis Fowl is said to be not ready for the disease unless she has a serious problem. This is very important when planning. The sun does not coincide with Artemis. This was not very pleasant. A long glance at the computer screen in a room brightened his skin. He was a white vampire, especially during the day. Hopefully, it's not another wild goose, Butler, he said in a lower tone, especially after Cairo. Those were not in quotes. It is a light burden. They went to Egypt, Butler said. No, of course not now. Mugen is a good guy. No, cried Artemis. Pedestrians hear incredible Eurasian people speaking to their young boss. It was the 3rd millennium after that. However, these are not ordinary relationships, and they are not ordinary tourists. They were sitting in a cafe on Dongkai Street when they saw a local man walking in the square. When Mugen arrived late, Artemis's sympathy did not affect the shadows provided by paratroopers. But that was just his daily pregnancy. There is a psychological spark. Is it important this time? Can you find the book? I cannot wait. Run the server to its table. No more tea, monsieur, he insisted. Guess the goddess, theater, and serious feeling. The waiter turned to Butler instinctively. But sir, I am a waitress. Artemis contacts the board for attention. She wore a turtleneck, a silk t-shirt, and 3 gold rings. Her English has the color of Oxford, and her fingernails left the new woman vulnerable. Mugen's shoulders collapse. It's correct. That wasn't in quotes either. It's hard. A torn apron can't be a club. Mugen sat down and poured mint tea into a small porcelain bowl. Artemis continues to talk about the status of the weapon. I am not armed, but my deaf here. Hey, Butler. Hit Sage Sour on the shoulder with 2 hands and 2 shovels. Dillinger is holding tea and 3 grenades. Different bags, waiters. In all caps. That's all everything. Oh, yes. It's a cute plush shirt sewn on. Oh god. Mugen brought a glass bag to his lips. Artemis smiles. Don't worry, Mr. Swan. Don't use guns. Mugen didn't seem to care. No, Artemis continues. Butler has managed to kill hundreds of ways without using weapons, of course. Mugen was completely scared. Artemis had this general effect on humans. Talk about the power of an easygoing person. Have you ever heard of Mugen International Underground Chicken? However, I think you'll be interested in the old Artemis, not this baby. The world child is so serious that personal justice is rare. Giant sailor. All you can do is bend your back like giant tree branch. Oh my god, it's so bad. Oh my god, okay, so that is that passage put through Google Translate 12 times. Because that's how old Artemis is in the first book. That is hilarious, and I love it. If you have any other passages you want put through, you can send them to me. I currently only have the 1st, 4th, and 6th books. 6th books, currently. I'm getting the rest for my birthday soon. But yeah, if you have a passage you want, put through Google Translate, then let me know. I'll just do like a voice recording instead of an actual video. But yeah, oh my god, his daily pregnancy. I can't. It's too good. Oh yes, it is a cute plush shirt sewn on. Almost none of the stuff is in quotes. Oh no. Okay. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a better interpretation than what we're gonna get from the movie. But yeah, this is Roses, signing off.